Before we finish up this morning, we did mention that we have a very, very special guest with us in the room. He's become the NBL's new best friend all of a sudden. He was here at the start of the season. He's back to see how it all unfolds over the next couple of weeks as well. And of course, the No Ball Tour that kicks off later this week in Hobart. Please join me in welcoming the legendary Scottie Pippen to the stage. Come on in. Scottie, welcome back. Great to have you back here in Australia. It feels like we've seen a lot of you this season already. It's great.
Yes, I feel like I've been with you for quite a while now, since last night.
How was last night? How did you find a room like that? I guess in some respects it's an industry night, but it was a pretty special one for the NBL as well.
That was a great night, and first and foremost, you did a great job of hosting it, you and Sean. So it was a great event. I thought that very professionally done. A lot of beautiful people there, a beautiful room. Players were very professional, so it was an awesome event. Congrats.
Now, the theme is obviously around finals and what's coming up, so it's fantastic to have you here for that. Just talk to us about what this time of year means to you as a player. You had so much success. It must be so special even now to think about the great times that you had.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a special time for any player to make it to this point. You want to be healthy. You want to be playing some of your best basketball. But it's a time where you want to be playing great as a team. This is an uplifting time during the season where the players get a little more regenerated. They can see the prize a little bit, and they get a little hungry, and the games become a little bit more exciting, a little bit more meaningful, and the possessions become a little bit more meaningful. So it becomes a bit of a different basketball game, but every possession is an important possession, and that's what you like about the playoff, because now it's time for your team and everyone to come together and play the game as one, as working fingers on a hand. We all have to work together and be on the same page.
Some of those things that you just spoke about there, like the stakes are so much higher, but mentally from an individual perspective, what changes at this time of year?
Just the focus. You know, as I said, every possession is important. The communication on the basketball court becomes important. Coaching becomes even more important because, you know, one or two possessions could cost you a game. And as you know, in the play-in, you're not allowed to lose a game. But so it's important to, you know, try and be a team that has a lot less turnovers. It's important to get to all the 50-50 balls. It's important to make sure that you box out, get the rebounds, all the little things that you work all season for become very important on one night. And you know, you watch these teams, they're running up and down the court all season long, and you sometimes wonder, well, what's going on? Well, they have nights off where they are not making shots. The chemistry is not working as well. Well, all those things are thrown out the window when it comes playoff time. You have to play together. You have to be in rhythm. You have to shoot the ball better.
A couple of scenarios that I want to bounce off you. One is Melbourne, who finished on top of the table, have been top of the table for virtually the entire season. You've been in those situations as well with some of your Chicago teams where you were the front runner all season long. What sort of challenge does that present come playoffs time when everyone is after you as the number one seed?
Well, I want to say it's tough, but it's really not any different than the 1 seed to the 8th or 6th seed. You know, you still got to play your best basketball. Every team in the playoffs is capable of beating whoever they're playing against. So it's back to what I said. You have to be playing some of your best basketball. You have to be taking every possession serious, and you have to take your opponent serious as well.
What about for a team for the Sydney Kings, who have won the last two? They're going to have to do it the hard way this year. They've got a play-in to start with. But when you're trying to win multiple championships and stack them up year on year on year, but What sort of challenge does that present a group?
Well, I think they shown the other night that they're ready. They want to be a part of this playoff run. They want the opportunity to defend their title. They didn't have the greatest regular season, as we know. They had to win the other night to get into the playoffs, but that's all it takes. As a player who won multiple titles, sometimes you get a little bored during the regular season. That's probably what happened to them. It's why they faded a lot during the regular season and didn't really take the game as important as they needed to. But they somehow got the wake-up call, got a second chance, and let's see if they can take advantage of it. But as a person that never really got knocked off of his title, I feel like it's always great to be able to go and defend your title with a full load of troops, healthy players. It gives you a great opportunity, and I think they have that working for them going forward.
You've got 6 of them to choose from, but of all of the titles, is there one that's a little more meaningful than others?
Not really. I would probably say winning my first one was probably the most meaningful one. I never thought I would win a second, or a third, or fourth, fifth, or sixth. I think winning that first one was the hardest because it took me years to get it. The other ones, when I look at it, it took me a year or maybe 2 or 3 after we took a little break. So I think winning that first one is my favorite.
Now, you're in town for the playoffs, but you're also in town for the No Bull Tour, which starts on Friday in Tasmania and rolls around through Sydney and also Melbourne. I think we got just a little snapshot last night of what Horace Grant's going to bring to the table during the No Bull Tour. He's not messing around.
Nah, he's not messing around, and it should be a lot of fun to have an opportunity to talk about basketball in the 90s, to talk about what basketball was like in the 80s, but also be able to look ahead as to where the game is today and what's the difference about today's game and where it was in the 90s. It's truly a beautiful game and has continued to grow and to get better, growing from a fan base standpoint, but also growing globally.
It's probably timely to ask you about, I'm not sure if you had a chance to catch any of the All-Star game that was played. It's drawn a lot of debate in America and around the world about the format and whether the players actually seem to care. If you caught any of it, what did you think?
No, I did not catch any of it, and I think I did a good job. But yes, I think we've been seeing this for the last few years with the All-Star game, the importance of the game, and I think it all falls back on the players, whether or not they want to compete. I heard one player say that they don't think anyone wants to be there. So, maybe it's a time and a place for it. Maybe the players are making too much money where they don't feel that they can generate the energy, the excitement in mid-season to go out and excite fans anymore. Maybe it's something that the league has to take a look at because it's doing more harm than good to the game right now.
Obviously, all of us around Australia have got eyes on Josh Giddey all the time. It started here in the NBL, his journey as a next star. Now he's got hopefully some great things coming up. How have you seen Josh's career progression and I guess for him and his team, what's to come in the next few weeks and hopefully months?
Well, they're a very good young team. They have definitely made a lot of progress over the last 2-3 years. They're an exciting team to watch. They're a very scary team. I don't think anyone wants to face them. And if I'm not mistaken, they're definitely in the top 3 to 5 teams in their division. So it's going to be an exciting year. As I said, they're young and they're dangerous. It's hard to really predict when you're playing against teams like that because those players are still coming into their on. So they're going to be a very scary team. I think they will definitely be a team that will advance in the playoffs, judging on what they've been able to do in the regular season.
And Josh is still young. This season's had its challenges for him at times, but are you confident with the way that he's moving through his career as well?
Yes, I'm confident. Oklahoma City has a great staff. His growth and his development will continue to happen over the next 3 to 5 years. We've all seen a huge jump in his play since being in the NBA, but it's a matter of him maturing physically as well as mentally. And when all that come together, you will see a different player.
Scottie, it's great to have you here. It's been awesome to have you here for the first part of the season. To have you back for this time of year is unbelievable, and the No Ball Tour is going to be brilliant. So thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Scottie Pippen, everybody joining us here. That brings to an end the formal part of the morning. We do have some opportunities for photos with all of our players who are stuck around and attending as well. Thank you for being with us. We can't wait for everything to start on February the 28th, and we appreciate your time this morning.